right, we're back on the SportsMax zone. We continue with our recap of day one of the Commonwealth Games being held in Birmingham, England. Is it an upset? Maybe, maybe not. But the Barbados women's cricket team in their Group A encounter beat Pakistan by 15 runs. Batting first, Barbados posted 144 for 4 from their 20 overs, with Kaisia Knight top scoring with an unbeaten 62 of 52 balls. Captain Hayley Matthews chipped in with 51. Pakistan in reply were restricted to 129 for 6 from their 20 overs. Well, Leighton, there's nobody happier than myself because I really wanted to see the Barbados women put up a fight, especially because I personally felt it was unfair that, we didn't get to take our West Indies team and instead had to decide which country would represent us at the Commonwealth Games. A good showing from our ladies today. What say you?
Yeah, I think it's good. I mean, remember the T20 Blaze that was supposed to determine which team from the Caribbean would go on to represent the West Indies at the Commonwealth Games wasn't held. It was cancelled twice because of COVID. But Barbados, being the champions prior to those cancellations, was probably the best option to send a team because they have about half of the West Indies lineup in their starting 11. And I think...
Half?
Yes, it's half, yeah. It's, and so they've done well. I mean, when you look at the people who performed, I remember DeAndre Dottin didn't do anything with the bat today and they still won comfortably enough.
Yes.
Kaisia Knight stepped up big time at 62 not out. And of course, Hayley Matthews, who captains the team, led from the front. 51 and of course 1 for 13. She's becoming she's now the new West Indies captain and she's proving that she's deserving of the position because again, she's leading from the front. And I think against a Pakistan team that potentially is a team that would topple the West Indies team, not Barbados, topple the West Indies. This was a very strong performance from Barbados to start the tournament.
I agree, a great start. And we have to remember that also in Group A, there's India and Australia. And Leighton, if Barbados beat India in their next match, they can qualify for the semi-finals. How big of a deal? And based on what we saw today, do you think we have what it takes to beat a strong Indian team?
Look, one of the things I've always believed about the West Indies women's team is that they have the talent. There is no doubt about that. My problem has always been the consistency of the performances. And of course, if Barbados, given the players that they have at their disposal, can be consistent in this tournament, of course they can go to the semi-finals. I think India is a top team. They have batters right down to number 7, and they have really good bowlers. But if the West Indies can perform like we saw them, that Barbados, I keep saying West Indies,
yeah,
Barbados can perform like they had today, and maybe get contact performances from DeAndre Dottin along with Kaisia Knight and, of course, Hayley Matthews. I don't see any reason why India cannot be beaten. I mean, it's cricket. We've seen Kenya topple the West Indies before. So why shouldn't Barbados be able to conquer India? It is what it is. And
we just have to remember how special having women's cricket at the Commonwealth Games for the first time, Leighton, how special this is and, the step that it means for women, the direction that we are headed. And I mean, it's something worth celebrating, win, lose or draw.
Yeah, now look, one of the things that there is, the women's cricket is growing, okay? That's a reality. I mean, we see the women playing some exceptional cricket. Teams like in the recent series between, I think it was England and Australia, or was it India, England? I'm trying to remember who it was, South Africa. There was really good quality cricket. I mean, New Zealand, I think it was. And what we saw here was that the women are capable of, I mean, of course, they're not going to be as fast as the men, or bowl as fast, or hit the ball as far. But within the context of the gender, I think the quality of the game is really, really good. So this is just another opportunity to show the world what is possible when women take up the bats and the balls and try to keep wicket and field and dive around on the field. They're capable. And the gender biases aside, I think it's an opportunity for the sport to get even bigger because it will give other kids, young kids, whether they're in the Caribbean or in India or in Australia or New Zealand, the idea that they can go and try to become professional female cricketers. And I think that's wonderful. I think we're living in a world now where this is not the time when women are locked behind doors and are stuck in the kitchen and everything.
No.
Women can do just as well as men, maybe not physically as proficient, but certainly play well enough to play a sport in an exciting manner. We've seen it in tennis, we've seen it all across the board. So why not cricket?
Exactly. Well, in the first ever cricket match at the Games, world champions Australia came back from the brink of defeat to beat India by 3 wickets. So we were just speaking about India, Australia, and this I think seals the deal for me, because Australia had to, as my producer wrote for me, come back from the brink of defeat and of course win it by such a close margin. It shows, Leighton, your point, the point that you were making.
Look, and if we check the scores, 157 I think were the score, 154 for 8 for India, and of course Australia 157 for 7. That's not out of the realm for Barbados. 144 for 4 is only 13 runs away. So if Barbados, for example, can get a score of anywhere from 150 to 160, maybe even 170 if DeAndre Dottin goes off or Haley Matthews goes off. Why not put Australia under pressure? Look, all it takes, I remember in high school, they say it takes 1 ball to get a wicket.
Yes.
So, if the West Indies, Barbados, I keep saying West Indies, I don't know why. If Barbados does the job in terms of their bowling, and they have the bowlers, DeAndre Dottin can do it, we've seen Haley Matthews do it on multiple occasions. Why not? I mean, Australia women are women just like everybody else.
Yeah, and we have Shakira Salman as well.
Yeah.
And, she's been performing
really
so
well. Good bowling, consistently high quality play, disciplined cricket, and anything is possible, I believe.
Yeah, close matches today, and of course we'll continue to keep you up to date with all the information. We're switching sports now, and in netball, England, they opened their title defense with a 74-22 win over Trinidad and Tobago in the opening action at the Commonwealth Games in Birmingham, England. Australia, who was silver medalist in 2018, also got off to a winning start, sweeping aside Barbados 95-18. Meanwhile, Jamaica beat Wales 72-43 in their Pool A encounter. So I think it's fitting that we start with the Caribbean winners, and that would be Jamaica. A brilliant showing by the Jamaican ladies today, and I have to also say this wasn't unexpected.
No, it's not. I mean, Jamaica has consistently been one of the top 4 or 5 teams in the world. In fact, top 3 for the most part. And they demonstrated that today against Wales. I mean, I think they started out a little rusty because I don't think they played many practice matches before they came to the Commonwealth Games.
No, but they found their groove.
Yeah, they found their groove eventually. And of course, we still see some of the weaknesses in the team, but hopefully they'll be able to improve on that. Because one of the things with the Jamaican team is that most of the players now play professionally in either Australia or England. So they have
big names.
Yeah, they're the biggest names in the sport. Janelle Fowler, for example, has been the leading scorer in the Suncorp Super League for the last 4 years. She's been her team
West Coast Fever.
West Coast Fever she's been MVP for the last 4 years, which is a record. And again, she demonstrated to the 30-odd points again today. And of course, the team looks like it's ready to play good netball and challenge the New Zealanders and the Australians of the world. For the other 2 games, it was what was expected. I mean, Australia, the best team in the world, bar New Zealand right now. They are a well-oiled machine. Similarly, England. So the scores against Trinidad and Barbados, respectively, were not much of a surprise. Yeah. What I'm disappointed about is that Trinidad has shown that they can produce great players. Samantha Wallace, for example, who plays in the Suncorp Super League, is one of the best players in the world.
Exactly.
They should be able to produce more of those players. And similarly, Barbados. Jamaica is right there as an example of what you need to do.
And they recently played against them.
Yeah, I think it's time that Trinidad and Barbados step up, because they have the potential to be as good as Jamaica. And there's no reason why they shouldn't be.
Yeah, well, we're definitely keeping a close eye on the Caribbean countries to see how they do where netball is concerned, and of course all the other sports. You can keep it locked to SportsMax, and in case you missed any of it, you can head across to our YouTube channels or download the SportsMax app. We take a quick commercial break. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back.